What's up, my friends? Welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the oboe and the English horn. Now, some of my favorite instruments in the orchestra, I can't deny it, but I'm really glad to kind of talk about them in this video, give you a little overview of what they do and how they sound as well. Before we get into it though, I want to give you my 10 steps to a clear orchestral sound guide. It'll basically take you through the different things that you need to know in order to make your mock-up sound really good. And I've learned these from, literally just practicing over and over again. And I've tried to come up with concepts that are very concrete and very easily actionable to help you really take your mockups to the next level. So if you want to download that, it's totally free. You can click the first link in the box below. It'll take you straight there to download it as my gift to you. So let's talk about the oboe and the English horn. The oboe was originally started in pairs in the Baroque and classical periods, and then the English horn was added afterwards, kind of in the Romantic era, and then even with 4 or 5 in the 20th century. So it's very possible that you can have multiple oboes or English horns within an ensemble context. It has a very unique and nasal sound in a way, but it's when it's controlled, it can sound very expressive and very gorgeous, which makes it one of my favorite instruments, the oboe. The oboe also needs less air basically to produce sound, and it can sustain longer notes as a result. So it doesn't need as much air, right? And I mean the flute, we talked about in last week's video how important it is to give it lots of breathing room and lots of air. The oboe is kind of the opposite. But it's also very agile as well, very easy to play runs and stuff like that. The ideal range for the oboe is F3 to C5, which has the most control and best sound quality. And then the English horn extends the oboe family down by an augmented fourth. So it's slightly lower than the oboe, and it doesn't reach as high either, I think. It's also very agile, has a warm and rounder sound compared to the oboe. If you listen to Dvorak's what is it? Do 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 do. Right? That's an English horn solo there. It sounds very beautiful, and then you hear the strings and kind of warm brass in the low end supporting it. Just gorgeous. That's what an English horn sounds like. And yeah, generally both instruments are suited for solos, playing counterpoint, like counter melodies, doubling, for like strings and stuff, or runs, etc. Very versatile instruments. So what are some pros and cons? Let's talk about them. Both instruments have an incredibly warm and plaintive tone for melodic purposes. So in my productions, I tend to use them as solo instruments, even though sometimes I'll use them to double strings and brass. I really like to use them for solo purposes myself. If you listen to the Super Mario Galaxy song or piece called Sky Station Galaxy, in the middle section there's a beautiful oboe solo. Then that's the section that really made me fall in love with the oboe instrument, to be honest. Now, as solo instruments, they can really carry a lead line easily as long as the arrangement isn't too busy, right? So these instruments aren't the loudest ones in the orchestra. Because they're woodwind instruments, they tend to be on the quieter side, so you want to keep that in mind when arranging for them, for sure. The mid to high range can really sing out, and when controlled, pulls at the heartstrings. I had to say that because I hear them in a lot of romantic contexts, and I think it really works for those moments. Now, in the wrong hands, the instruments can sound reedy and screechy. Like if the performers are less experienced, they don't really know how to control the sound and the embouchure too well, it can result in a sound that's maybe less desirable. So usually sample libraries present these instruments in a very good way. I'm thinking Orchestral Tools and Cinematic Studio series. They have beautiful oboes there. So does Audio Imperia with their Nucleus library. So what are my favorite ways to use them? Number one, as solo instruments, we talked about that. They stand out very well and provide a unique color. And number two, I will occasionally use the oboe to layer with violins or with flute, English horn with bassoon or French horn. Naturally, the English horn is a little warmer and darker, so I'll combine it with like instruments as well. Bassoon, another woodwind instrument, and the French horn, a brass instrument. Finally, I like to use them for short staccatos at times, which can add bite to an existing arrangement layered with strings and or other woodwinds, basically. Hopefully that gives you a sense of these instruments. And again, I can always recommend to basically listen to as much music using them as possible, but hopefully this gives you a sense of what they can do, their kind of ranges, and the sound that you can expect from them when you start listening to them, okay? And if you want to go a little bit more in depth and understand how to take your mockups to the next level in general, I want to give you my 10 steps to a clear orchestral sound guide. Again, it really takes you through from start to finish, 10 things that you need to know in order to make your mockups actually stand out. It's totally free. Again, you can click the link in the box below. It'll take you straight there. And a lot of my students have found it very useful and applied it to their own work to make their music sound better. So I know it can work for you too. And again, it's my gift to you for watching this video. So thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow and I'll catch you then. Take care. Bye-bye.